Six chill, for real.
Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Or should I say Shabbat Shalom to everybody?
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, we're going to do like we do all the time. Get class rolling. Shalom to everybody out there. Hope y'all day has been Tawab. Hope your Sabbath been Tawab. Or hope your Sabbath ends up being Tawab. We'll do our little announcements while brothers and sisters pill in. For y'all that are new to our channel, we've been around for a little bit. We've been around before the YouTube generation, and our thing was always to get the word out in any venue or avenue that we can. So coming from the 90s. When we opened up schools, when we were going to different states, it's always been try to open up a cable show, local access, radio show, get your flyers, get your street speaking, flood the system. So we've been trying to do that for over 30 years to get the word out. So this is just another avenue. We have locations up here in these areas. If you want to get classes, get a hold of us. She's going to put our phone number up real quick. If you want to get any counsel or talk, you can hit us up after class, text only during class. But that's our number there. If you want to find out if we're in a certain location, you can feel free to hit us up. We answer questions, a lot of questions during class. So all of our cable shows, all of our access to get the word, a lot of questions come out. So you got questions plus class, then you got all these other channels we got up there. That's how we use these different tools to get out the information. All right, so check out our other channels, like, share, subscribe. Use them to get them out. Use them to ask questions, all right? If you want to get your garments together and you want to get fringes, you want to get tunics, and start looking like a Hebrew Israelite, right? You can go ahead and get a hold of us. Check out our website, isbhpk.com, and then we have also garments on there. You can get shirts, fringe, pants, all that. The sisters are fabulous ninjas at work to get the work done. Check that out online, isbhpk.com. I asked y'all yesterday to check out our website. It is new, and if y'all got any suggestions, anybody got any input, you can shoot it to us. We are open for input. No ego here. We take all suggestions, all right? What else we got here? Hebrew Academy. We've been talking about during every week of class, we've been touching on the office of a bishop and you taking on certain duties as a priest. If you want to be a part of that, feel free. You can be a part of that. Get a hold of us. The information is up there also to be a part of that. All right. What else we got here? What's the next one? What did I miss? Oh, Blog Talk, of course, blogtalkradio.com. You guys can check out Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio. It's not only Mashaba, he's been up there, but a lot of other brothers have been on teaching, getting the word out. And they're San Antonio by the way of Albuquerque, so check that out also. Last thing is the donations. The information's up there. If you want to donate, you can do that. All right, she'll throw that up there on the screen. While she got that up there, I'll let y'all check that out. And then if y'all have any questions, now's the time. Get your questions out. Right. You get any questions? I mean, do y'all have anything? Yes, sir. What you got?
Giving to the poor, is it only towards Israel or all nations?
How do you determine who's a nation?
Other, generally speaking, other races?
Well, how do you know?
Don't know. Confusion of faces?
So when you pull up and a bum comes up to your car, you're going to give out of your heart, right? But how are you going to determine if they're another nation? Are you going to ask them?
No.
You're just going to judge by sight, right? So what does Scripture say about judging by sight? That we shouldn't. So when you give, we give to all people, right? If they're in need, they're in need. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Now, let's go to... It is, let me find it real quick. Now, I gotta say it like that because a person, you got this idea that the person's a bum because they did something wicked or they're doing something wicked. You don't know that. Now, obviously, the scriptures tell us give to the godly. So if somebody come up and they're high, drunk, right? You don't want to support that habit. You don't want to hurt them in that way. That's not going to help them by giving them money. You hungry, you need something, I can give you that way. But if I give you money, I'm not sure if you're going to go spend that on drugs or drinking to hurt yourself. So we got to be conscious of that too. All right. It is... So go to Matthew 5. And you're going to start at 43.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43.
Matthew 5 and 43. Wait till everybody gets it. Y'all got it? There you go. Go ahead and read that.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43.
Ye
Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
Now, who's your enemy? It wasn't supposed to be Israelites, because you weren't supposed to deal with your brother like that. Our enemies were the other nations, right? So we got to know there's... Now, in this case, you got Israel that deal with their brothers like enemies, so it applies either way, right? You got brothers that deal with their own people like enemies. So it applies in either way, whether it's Israel or other nations, right? And listen to what this says. Go ahead.
But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you.
Go ahead.
And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven.
So, when it says render not evil for evil, how do we deal with the other nations? Do we not deal with them just and righteous to show them an example? That's what we're supposed to do. It doesn't matter. When you look at how David dealt with Uriah the Hittite, he didn't deal with him no other way. He dealt with him as a just man because he came to him just. How did he deal with Goliath? He destroyed him, right? Because how he came to him. So you can see the dynamic of how we dealt with the other nations. We dealt with them with wisdom, cordial, with respect. When they came to us with respect. If they didn't come that way, then we didn't deal with them that way. So that's how we're supposed to deal with all nations. We're supposed to be greater than them, right? Go ahead.
For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good.
So what's the point of that? And that's the point I wanted to get to. Think about that. Read that again.
For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good. And on the good.
So who is that talking about? First of all, it's talking about the Most High. How does he deal with the evil? Does he still give them things that they need? Yeah. So how are we supposed to deal? We're supposed to deal with be just with all men. If it be in thy power, be at peace with all men. Right? Go from there. Go to Luke 10, verse 25.
Luke chapter 10, verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah, go ahead, read down.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, with all thy mind, and all thy neighbor as thyself.
Now we know that your neighbor is who? Originally it was who?
Israel.
It was Israel, right? The other nations weren't around us. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor?
You see that? So, who's my neighbor? Right? Fair question. Israel will ask you. Well, who's he talking about? Who's his neighbor? Well, our neighbor was our people. All right? So look at what Yahweh Shai did to him. Check this out. Go ahead.
And Yahweh Shai answered and said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And
so this certain man from Jericho, right? Why from Jericho? He most likely was an Israelite. So in order for this man to see and to answer your question, he seen this man that went down from Jericho, got robbed. And the first one that seen him was what?
Priest.
The first one that seen him was a priest. Now, you bring the priest, what was supposed to happen? The priest was supposed to see that man and what?
Automatically help him out.
Automatically help him out, right? Right, because he knows the law, right? He knows the scriptures, right? He's an Israelite, right? Okay, go ahead.
And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side.
Right, so a priest and a Levite. Twofold priest, right? He seen him and he said, okay, I see this guy, but what did he do to help him? Nothing. Right? These are so-called God believing people, right? They trust in the Most High, right? Go ahead.
But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed.
So a certain Samaritan, now you got a what? Now you got a nation. It's funny, you know why I'm laughing? Because I did the same thing to Yeshaya. High Priest Yeshaya, the same question. So I'm answering the question the same way he answered me. Right? So who is your neighbor? How do we know who to deal with and how, right? That's what you're asking. Go ahead.
But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
Right? So all these Hebrew Israelites see this other brother, don't give no compassion, but the Gentiles seen him and he had compassion on him. Right? Go ahead.
And went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his breast.
Go ahead.
Beast.
On his beast.
And
brought him to an inn and took care of him.
Right? So he did all this, man. Went totally out the way. Went totally out the way for this Hebrew Israelite. Once again, if you fell on your way and you fell and somebody pulled up on the side of you, on the side of the road, man, and said, man, you need help? Are you going to say, hold on, what's your nationality? So this is answering your question. Who do you do good to? Right? You do good to all men. Right? We're supposed to be godly to all people. Right? If you seen a brother on the side of the road and he was black as hell, with woolly hair, are you going to pull up to him and be like, hold on, real quick, I want to help you with your tire, but are you a Hamite or a Hebrew Israelite? Are y'all going to do that? See, because you're judging by sight. You see that? Righteous judgment is to go help him. His nationality shouldn't matter.
That's right.
It shouldn't. Because the Most High told us to be an example to all nations. Now, if you want to be in that hypocritical mind, then I'm going to say, well, why wouldn't you ask the black man with woolly hair if he's a Hamite, but you would ask the light-skinned cat if he's a nation? Why would you do one and not the other? Because you don't got proper judgment. You want to judge by sight and not the spirit. Because if the spirit leads you to help that person, then help them. It ain't like that all the time. You know what I mean? Because some people's spirit be off. Right? You might know, like I said, they come up to you, they smell like liquor, they smell like drink. You're like, you gonna just drive past. But some people, the spirit might say, you know what? Help that person out. Listen to the spirit. Right? So once again, we got an Israelite robbed, beaten. Two Levites see this brother hurt. They don't help. The Samaritan, he picks him up, gives him food, cleans him up, puts him at the inn. Right? Go ahead.
And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host.
The funny thing, that's how it happens a lot. Sometimes a Gentile go out the way more than an Israelite. It'd be like that. It'd be the guy that's a nation, and it'd be like, in your mind, you'd be like, wow, they make our people look bad. Right? They go out of the way. It'd be your own people that will see you rotten and won't do nothing. You see that? Okay, so let's get your answer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say we had a situation like that in the mall just yesterday.
Really?
Like Jake was steady like I'm good. You know what I mean? We know we are the brothers, but I'm good. But Esau came through and he was just all about love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what he was kicking. He was all about love. But he ended up buying 120 bottles and shooting us 20 apiece. But you know, we put that in
Yeah. But I'm glad you said that, because now we know Esau, who is Esau. We got to remember like this. It doesn't mean they're going to all of a sudden get a pass because they do one good thing. The Most High ain't judging like that. But that, not for us. You see what I'm saying? We are supposed to be godly to all nations, to all people, to show them we're greater. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. The Most High said in Deuteronomy that this be your wisdom in sight of all the nations. He didn't say, oh, Abraham, when you go over there to Abimelech, spit in his face and tell him he's a dirty ass heathen. He didn't do that.
No.
You know what, Joseph? You go roll over there in Egypt and shit on these Hamites. He didn't do that. He moved over there in wisdom. Right? He didn't say, Moses, you know what? Now you know you a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I mean? Shit on the whole nation. No, Moses still came with respect. But he knew the will that had to be done. But how did these men deal with the nations? With wisdom and understanding. So a lot of times we think just because they're the op, we have to, everything got to be a battle. No, we deal cordial, we deal with wisdom, we deal with understanding. Right? When they want to act like Goliath, then they get treated like Goliath. But when they want to act like the nations that come, show respect and show love, then we show respect and love back too. You know what I mean? You ain't going to pass up on that 120 because he's a heathen. Hell no. You're going to be like, man, we appreciate that, bro. You know what I mean? You didn't say, you know what, 20 apiece, man? Nah, man, that's too much. You said, yes, it's time to drop your arms. Good job. Right? Israel, street speaking, has diluted the mentality of a lot of people because they think that's how we just brutes. The entirety of the Bible has showed us how to function as wise people. Not just one moment, Goliath, but other moments too. The whole Bible, and that builds the character in us. That shows us how to function as Hebrew Israelite men. It's not one, we're not doing like Christians. We're picking one moment and saying, well, this is how we deal. No, there's many scriptures that define how we're supposed to function ourselves and deal with the nations. Deal with each other, right? So we got to keep that in mind. I'm going to say it again for them that are slow. That doesn't mean the nations all of a sudden are going to get into the kingdom of heaven. They're going to get a pass. That just means that we are supposed to do what the scriptures say, which is be just before all nations, be wise, be examples. That's all that means. Right? What?
Yahweh Shai healed the woman's daughter who was possessed with demons.
Yeah, she admitted.
She said, I know we're dogs, but listen, even the dogs sit at the table.
Even the dogs eat of the children crumbs. Right. Even the dogs eat of the children crumbs. He was like, okay, just because of that saying, I'll heal your daughter. So it was those moments that he showed that, hey, look, because I have not seen so much great faith in Israel, I'm going to go ahead and heal your daughter. Because, you know what? Israelites ain't even wanting what you want. You see that? We know it was the children's bread. He said it. But still, he said, you know what? I'm going to spare you this time. Think about it. After calling her that, after her submitting, then this is what the nations are going to do. Why you let the Edomites lick from the bottom of your foot to the top of your toe? Why? Because they're admitting and submitting. If you were so hard, you would have said, listen, don't touch me at all. Now, what man wants another man to lick him? Right? But y'all get what I'm saying, right? It's these different dynamics that you got to see through the Bible. Now, let's finish it.
Luke chapter 10, verse 35. Now on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host.
Right?
And said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee.
That's this dude going out of the way. Esau went over there. You know why Esau did all that to y'all, Asa, and then the brothers that were there? You know why? Because they know their time is short. They know the scriptures say that their children so seek to please the poor. They know they're feeling it in the air that reparations are due. So they're going to do things like that. And it's okay. It's okay. I keep seeing it. The brother Kawakab in Guatemala. Guatemala? The brother in Guatemala, the Edomite bought him a truck. He put out there everybody that he needed. That blew my mind. Because Esau will give, but dang, he bought him a vehicle. What do you think Kawakab said? Nah, you a heathen. I ain't gonna take heathenistic gifts. And then what you think Kawakab went and cursed him out? And dealt with him and said, nah, yeah, heathens, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You a damn Gentile, you disgusting beast. Where's the car at? Brothers have lost it. They literally don't understand the Bible in its entirety and judge off of street speaking and thugs. Israelite in thug mind state, and now it distorted the gospel. And we don't know how to function. You see what I'm saying? The scripture says, if it be in thy power, be at peace with all men. All men. And how do we know all men meant all men? It wasn't, well, that meant Hebrew Israelite men. Because when you look at our forefathers, they were at peace with all men. They didn't go through to these nations and start acting reckless and crazy and start acting like there's something else. They were godly. So that's what we're supposed to do. It's going to finish up and tell us. Go ahead.
Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him?
So you see that? He said, which one of these was his neighbor? It was supposed to be the Levites. It was supposed to be the Levite and the priests. But who was his neighbor? Who was acting more like his neighbor? The Samaritan. You know what I mean? So we deal godly with all people. You know what I mean? If somebody's in need, they're in need. You know what I mean? My rib's stepfather's Esau. You know what I mean? I told you the story about him, how he tried to come when we first got here, reckless, disrespectful. We had to sit him down, let him know. I had to look him in the face and say, Tom, you're going to deal right, Tom. Don't come with that madness, right? I set him down. I had to tell him. Because they were, and my rib had to shut him down. But we still deal cordial. You know what I mean? If he went and gave the sister a couch and was like, listen, I need somebody. They were like, well, we need somebody because they're old to take off the truck thing. We didn't say like, you know what? Nah, thanks for the couch. I was like, okay, we'll get over there and take off the that truck back. We deal with wisdom. It's supposed to be like that. You deal godly with me, I'm going to deal godly with you. And if you deal like a beast, then I'm going to stay away from you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the scriptures show us. Who is thy neighbor? The one that act more like a Hebrew Israelite. You would stay away from the drug dealing thug nigga that's killing each other quicker than you would stay away from Tom at your job. You might actually sit with Tom and talk to him. Right? With the nigga down the street selling crack, you're like, man, I ain't even going around that cat. Because he's not really acting like your neighbor. You see that? Like I said, that doesn't mean that we're all suddenly going to marry in and do all the other stuff and show up at Christmas parties. How we deal is just going to be cordial. Right? You got to say that. All right. So, I mean, does that answer your question? Okay. All right. Any other questions? Anything online?
Yes, there was a question.
Yeah.
Second Chronicles 19:2, perfect example for the helping the ungodly and the consequences.
Say that again?
Isn't Second Chronicles 19:2 a perfect example of helping ungodly?
Let's go there. Go ahead.
2 Chronicles 19:2.
Uh-huh.
And Jehu, the son of Hananiah, the seer, went out to meet him and said to the king Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord?
Right. Uh-huh.
Therefore is wrath upon thee from before the Lord.
Right, because he was helping who? He was helping the wicked. Right? So we don't supposed to help the wicked. I'll repeat it again. It says give to the godly man. Right? So if you're going to help someone and they're doing wicked with it, whether Jew or Gentile, it's wrong. So no, we're not supposed to help the wicked. You see what I'm saying? We're not supposed to help them do more wickedness either. Y'all see that? So yeah, the scripture is true. But what he was asking was something else. He was asking if there's a bum on the corner or if there's a person in need, do you give to them? Like, you're not going to determine what that person, that Gentile, that nation is doing. You're not going to determine. You can't say everyone is given over to wickedness and they're going to do wickedness with that. Because if that's the case, then that you would have to judge every man like that, right? You would have to judge every man because you, like some brothers do. Some brothers deal with like that with Israelites. I heard the one brothers when we went to Trinidad. So they had some water out, and they were like, "Nah, don't give." A brother was going to give the water out at the street speaking or something, and it was like, "Nah, don't give to nobody because they're sinners." You know what I mean? Now this was Israel. So if you're going to judge, you can't judge. Who's wicked? Who's wicked in here? First of all, everybody's going to go proclaim that they're not. Right? So how are you determining they're wicked? In this case, you're going to see they were doing wickedness, promoting wickedness, right? Of course you're not supposed to give to a person that is promoting wickedness. So let's get that one real quick. To add to this Chronicles, because you are correct. But now the person that put this, do you understand that Luke that we went over? Because think about it. You got to have the balance of what the scriptures are saying. Go to Ecclesiasticus.
Chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to start at verse 1. And work my way down to 4. Verse 4. What is it?
Yeah.
Start at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
When thou wilt do good, those to whom thou doest it.
Right. So, even in that, do you know what every person is doing? If a bum, Hebrew Israelite or not, came up to you, let's start with a Hebrew Israelite, because it just works on your mind a little better. The Hebrew Israelite came up to you, he's a bum, right? Are you going to give to him and he smells like liquor, cigarettes, and weed? Money? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. You got to be able to say, nah, I'm going to help this guy's habit. You got Hebrew Israelites coming up to you saying, hey, could you buy me a 6-pack? Kids. Or could you buy me a pack of cigarettes? Right? You're not going to do that. So you got to know, okay, I'm not going to help further this this sin. Y'all get that?
Right.
But where you might buy that person food. This is what the scripture's telling us. Yeah, think about it. How do we still give to the poor? If we were going to count everybody wicked, then the Bible is very confusing. How do you give to the poor? Because that was your question, right? How do you give to the poor if everybody was counted as wicked? Right? Or every person that you were going to give a sandwich to, they were wicked. Right? You wouldn't be able to give. You wouldn't be able to give to the poor. Right? Go ahead.
Just a quick question on action I did. I had an Ephraim work on a little piece of my car, and I asked him did he need anything after he was done, but he said that I could buy him some cigarettes. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't promote that, but I'm going to give you this money, and that's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, he worked on your car. His services are due. Payment is due. He did something for you. Hey, here, take this. Of course you did, correct. Yeah.
Same scenario was with my dad.
Right.
So this is before I was in the truth or knew anything. So he asked if I could buy him cigarettes, and of course he didn't want to disrespect me, so I did. It was against.
Yeah, now that you got the knowledge, you wouldn't do that.
So how would I handle it?
You tell them, listen, man, listen, you know how many people die of that, cigarettes? And I don't want to promote that. So no, I can't buy you none. You know what I mean? I can't do that for you no more. I believe in the Most High now. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how you deliver it. You know what I mean? No, I'm not gonna support that. Cordial, delivering it the correct way. I think a person should be able to understand it. Yeah. That's how we deal with it. So this is what it means about the godly and who to give to. Right? The funny thing is you start to deal with brothers like this, and brothers sometimes don't even act godly when you give to them. Watch. It's going to tell us. Read.
So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
Right. You see that? So what is it telling us? Sometimes we'll do good to the so-called godly, and they won't what? They won't even show you that they are godly. Right? They won't even give back. So you got to see that we're still doing good based on let me do good. Let me be the godly man. Go ahead.
Verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil. Nor to him that giveth no alms.
Right. So now it's telling you how to judge. If you see a person occupied in evil, no good can come from that. So do you see that all the time? No, you don't. You don't see when a bum is out there if he's shooting up or if he's just down and out. You don't see that. So you got to make a judgment, but you still got to give to the poor, right? You still got to give to the needy, right? I know brothers that we've given to and they don't do good with it. Right? So we got to see, man, it's more common sense in the Bible and application how to apply it in different arenas than just, oh, you know what? Cut and dry. Because if it was that cut and dry, then it wouldn't be these other little points. Right? Of course you won't give to a drug dealer, a killer, a murderer, right? But you are going to give to try to help people out, and you're going to give to the poor. So I'll say it again. Can we all determine who's selling crack out there, or if somebody's doing crack on the street? Not all the time. Not all the time. But to be saved, you might say, man, what you need? Well, man, I just need me something to eat. Okay, I'll get you something to eat. Mom, no, let me get a few dollars. Man, the spirit on you, right? You might be saying this, the spirit on this guy right now is not. You know what I mean? So you got to read the spirit. The scriptures say what? try the Spirit by the Spirit. You see, that way we can still fulfill. The Most High can see our heart giving to the poor, but at the same time not helping out a sinner. Right? That's the dynamic of all of this. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Give to the godly man.
Right?
And help not a sinner.
Now, once again, this says a sinner. The scriptures say all have sinned and fallen short of the grace.
Right.
So you're a sinner, I'm a sinner, we're all sinners. So what it's telling you though is this: that wicked person that is going to do wickedness, wicked things with what you're giving. That's what it's saying. Because it can't just in context mean a person that makes mistakes, right? It's talking about a person that is going about to achieve wickedness and sinning. And that's when you go back to that Chronicles, right? What they were doing, it's a whole different situation. You got people that promote wickedness, promote lies, promote falsehood. No, we're not going to support that, right? You won't even give to the fake pastors no more, right? Because you know they ain't teaching our people the truth. Right? Y'all see the common sense in this? Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Right?
Do well unto him that is lowly.
Go ahead.
But give not to the ungodly.
Right. Do well to the lowly. You get humble, prideful bums. You get prideful brothers. Right? Right after you give them some. Right? So it's showing us how to determine the spirit this individual is in. Right? Give to the lowly. You know some people are down and out. You know some people are in need. Hey, you're in need, man. You need this jacket. You need this clothes. You're giving, but I'm not helping you with your wickedness. You see that? So that's how we're supposed to determine. Go ahead.
Hold back thy bread and give it not to him. Least he overmaster thee.
Yeah, first of all, think about it. Why would you give to somebody that his mentality is to overmaster you? It's telling you right there, you should have already checked that mind and understood what type of individual that is. Why would you even deal with them? You wouldn't. For them to take what you give them and turn it around on you, you're not. It doesn't matter who it is. Y'all get that? So the Most High tells us the common sense of who we're supposed to give to. Go ahead.
For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt have done unto him.
And a lot of times we can't avoid it. I'll say it again. We do this to our brothers and thinking they're going to be good, but then you realize Judas wasn't good. He wasn't good, but Yahushua was constantly giving to him, right? But he gave. Then you realize, oh, wow, everything I gave him, he used to overmaster me and set me up. Right? So a lot of times, you're still going to give because people lie. You can't read every intention. You don't know who's being pure-hearted. Right? But does that stop you from giving? Right? When a brother asks you, hey, I need to borrow some money for my rent. We're going to be like, damn, you need the money? Okay, come on, we got you, right? We're not going to be like, but do we know if he's stripping with it? Do we know if he goes to the club with it and start throwing up the hundreds? We don't know that, right? Brothers, we got to stop acting like brothers be on point all the time. No, there's niggas in Israel, right? So, but you won't know until it's revealed. But you're giving based on, I know this brother's probably trying, right? But all the time it ain't like that. So you see how many different dynamics and things we're dealing with? I mean, obviously that's a whole situation. He lied to you. She can lie to you, right? Go ahead.
Verse 6.
For
the Most High hateth sinners.
The Most High hateth sinners. Now, obviously, y'all understand the context this is saying, right? He hates the wicked. Right? in this context, sinner means this person that is indulging in negative and constantly unrepentant. Right? Because I'll say it again. It says all have sinned. Right? So he hates the wicked because the wicked don't want to repent or change. Y'all get that? That's very important. Because this will make you kill yourself right here. Be like, damn, I'm a sinner. Does he hate me? If you love sinning, yes, he does. Right? Go ahead.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
So we did good to that person, but the person didn't do good to us. The Most High is going to repay that. Right? You did good to somebody, and they misused your goodness. Whatever you gave. That's okay. The Most High is going to repay them. Right? That's how it works. Does that make you dumb and stupid to not judge with insight and wisdom? No. You're still supposed to judge with insight and wisdom and let the Spirit guide your actions. Right? Go ahead.
And keep it dim against the mighty day of their punishment.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of understanding. Yeah, you definitely don't give to the wicked. You definitely don't support people that are doing wicked and knowing they're doing wicked. So absolutely right. I think his question was a little more along the, hey, listen, do you see a person in need and you might have it? Then it doesn't matter. You give to them that are in need because the Most High is looking at that. Okay, so was that it on the questions? Okay, did anybody have anything else? No. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and go into this topic. We got about an hour real quick. So we're going to go over a little sisters class tonight. And what's his name? Gamar. I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you tonight. I even forgot about you. Let's go into this topic though, because we said we were going to try to keep doing women classes too. All right. Remember, when we go over the women classes, this is still for brothers, but we're going to be dealing with women points when we deal with these topics. So we're going over why can't women control their emotions? Right? Why can't a woman control her emotions? Right. So somebody raise their hand and tell me why. Give me some input. Why can't a woman control her emotions? And I want you to look up the definition of emotional. Yeah.
They love it.
They what?
They love it.
They love it? I don't get it. Expound.
They so in tune with it, it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. Okay. They're so in tune with their emotions, it's comfortable. Why can't a woman control her emotions? Why don't a lot of sisters control their emotions? All right, how about this? Let's start here. And I know, to be fair, Basu, all the other sisters are sick, so they got away from this one. I told them, listen, if y'all got a call, stay home. I don't want no more sick people in here. But what is being emotional? Just off of what you know. What is being emotional?
Like acting on how you're feeling?
Acting on how you're feeling. Okay, I mean, it's fair. What, you want to say something? No? Shariah?
Not using your head.
Okay, not using your head. Okay, what does that mean to you? Not using your head. Not being logical. Good ones. What's the definition of emotional? I looked up a good one. I just Googled it. What y'all got? What you got?
It says, of a person having feelings that are easily excited and openly displayed.
You see that? So that's an emotional person. No. You got more than that? A person having feelings and just this display of those feelings. What else we got on emotionals? I had a Merriam one. Emotional. Anybody?
I got one.
What you got?
Arousing or characterized by intense feeling.
Okay, look. Relating to a person's emotions. It says similar, spiritual, inner, physiological. Arousing or characterized by intense feelings. So when a woman's emotional, she's moving off of her what? Intense feelings, right? How she feels. Moving, passionate, feeling, hot-blooded, warm. It says having feelings that are easily excited and openly displayed. So that's what emotional is. A woman moving off of her arousing, or it says intense feelings. So what are we learning about a person that is emotional? Just from the definition before we go into the Bible.
They have this intense feeling to display their emotions openly.
Right.
Outwardly.
And the key point in here is, what are they acting off of? It said it, one word, the F word, what?
Feelings.
They're acting off of their feelings. So when a woman says, or she taps into these emotions, she's tapping into her feelings. You see that? She's tapping into that. You know why I like this one? Because it says here spiritual, inner, physiological. She's tapping into the carnal. Right? But what carnal aspect? The spiritual carnal, right? The carnal mind. Y'all get this? You got something else?
Yes, sir.
What you got?
It says a conscious mental reaction.
Okay, I like that. A conscious mental reaction. Sometimes, man, it almost feels like they're not conscious.
Yeah.
They're not aware of what they're doing, right? Go ahead.
A conscious mental reaction, such as in anger or fear, subjectively expressed, experienced as strong feelings, usually directed towards a specific object or typically accompanied by a psychological and behavioral change in the body.
That's deep. So you're moving off of the all these emotions within your body. You're reacting off of that, and that's what hurts you in the long run. I say it all the time. We don't teach in our house, oh, she's on her period, so she get to act like a demon.
That's right.
That's you're set up to fail. You're setting up everybody in your house to fail. I got 4 women in my house. If that was the logic in my house, I didn't. You see me hung outside. Nah, we can't teach that. It's okay to tap in and be ruled by the carnal in your emotions, because you're usually giving in to all these different feelings, and that's what it is. So let's talk about it. Ephesians 4:14. Let's talk about those different emotions and feelings. What does the Bible tell us and teach us? Go ahead. Ephesians 4:14.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14.
That
we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
So the Bible tells us that's a childish mentality. Right? I said we just had some pho real quick, and I sit my 3-year-old son down, and he's what? He's everywhere. He's trying to do everything. Get off the chair, drink the water, open the straws, right? He's trying to do everything. Because that's a child. A child's mentality, their mind can't be focused. So what we're realizing is women need to grow up and understand that the world feeds in you how to be more childish and disarrayed. That's why they act out like they do. Right? You know what I mean? I noticed that in New York more. Now going back there, it's like when they finna get stupid, it's like they roll with those emotions and feel the no. They get more loud, more belligerent. You know what I mean? They got the gel in their hand, they put it on their face. It's like, damn, you doing too much. Right? Because you're letting emotions and different things just overpower you. But that's a child's mind. A mature woman understands how to block out those emotions, those spiritual carnal things that are going to get you in disarray. Because in the long run, it doesn't help. Right? So this is the problem, that sisters they ain't grown up. They're tossed around with every feeling and every thought and everything that comes to their mind, and it's destructive. Right? And then you feed that to your daughters, you feed that to your sons. You can't keep a husband, you can't keep a house. Why? Because you're so emotional. You're so disrespectful that you don't got there's no breaks. You're going to say anything to everybody, any emotion that comes in. Nah, I'm this type of, and you're going to deal with me, and it's just everywhere. Because you're still being a child in mentality. Read it one more time.
God, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Yeah, because when you become in spiritual maturity and stable in the doctrine, in the word, everything that pops up, you're not giving ear to and running around saying, oh, I got to listen to that, I got to listen to this. That's what children do. But a person that's mature, they start to understand how to focus their mind in the gospel, in the word, to keep them stable. So a lot of women are, I'm going to say it, a lot of women are not mentally stable. They're not mentally stable on how to deal with life and things. And that's why they're so emotional. Not based off of what I'm saying, based off the definition, and based off what the scriptures are showing us, is that if you accept everything that comes to you, you're going to be like a child. Now you see why they act out like children? You see why they just go through any emotions? Because they are not mature enough to understand what to block out. All right? They receive anything. Like some of the men do, right? They get online and they just receive everything. Oh, you know what? There was Anunnakis on the moon before us. Where's that at? What part of the game is this, right? But that's the mind. It's like, oh, you know what? Did you know that if you turn your kundalini inside out, man, you become spiritual? It's like, yeah, what we gonna do now? Turn our kundalinis inside out. Why? Because I'm just going by everything I hear. And this is what women have to understand. Being a Hebrew Israelite woman, it has to stop. You got to shut down all these different mentalities and ideas and emotions and focus yourself on what your requirement is.
Come.
You understand?
Come.
Watch. So read it one more time.
Come. Now we henceforth be no more children.
Right.
Tossed to and fro.
Right.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Every spirit, every wind of doctrine that comes. Every wind of idea that comes. So when we think of doctrine, think about every idea, right, that comes to you. Every thought that comes to you, you know what? You feed into it. That's a child's mind. Go ahead.
By the sleight of men.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Oprah tells you something, you move on that. You know what I mean? Your cousin tell you something, you move on that. Mama tell you something, you move on that. It's like, that's why, remember, you're not going to get those scriptures that we pull a million times in here all the time. This is a whole different topic. But what does it say? They're won by the conversation of wives, right? Why? Because their mind is everywhere and listening to everything. you really gotta watch it when she's affected by the Netflix series. You're like, what the hell? You come in, she's like, yeah, I was just watching on Netflix. It's like, what? Who the hell are you? Like, now I gotta be scared of the movies you're watching? Because that's jizzing on your mind? Right? You don't got no mental control, spiritual, psychological control. It says by the sleight of men. Go ahead.
And cunning crafty.
Right?
Whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Yeah. There's no awareness that someone is trying to take advantage of my mind. And that's what happens when you're a child. My son he's not aware that every time he goes out on the front yard, somebody nowadays they'll run up to the front yard and snatch your little ass and throw you in a van. He's not aware. And that's what that child mentality is. A lot of women aren't aware that this person doesn't care about your spiritual wealth, health. They don't care about that. All they're going to do is take advantage of your mind. Right? Who had their hand raised? Yeah.
Yeah, you see it in the mall, just on the point of being carried about with every ideal,
right,
or every wind of something that comes along.
Right.
When you see it in the mall, these people don't understand that they're following trends, but they'll be like, "Oh, I'm independent. I'm doing my own thing."
Right.
Like,
they're not.
You're not though. What
yeah.
You're doing,
you literally look like everybody else.
You look like everybody else.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. And I met a guy today that I was talking to him, and I noticed dude had his nails painted, right? And I just seen where they was like, I think it was like Lil Uzi or something like that, is encouraging men to like paint their nails.
Yep.
I'm like, that's real? Like, that's crazy. So it's, people think they're doing their own thing or they got like this independent mind, but you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Right, right. And then they're upset when we come to the gospel and do what Yahweh Shai laid down. Because we become Yahweh Shai clones. Let's be real about it. We're throwing off the clones of the world, the robotic mindset of the world, and we're becoming clones of Christ.
Right.
So think about it. We're all following the same thing. I'll say it again. You're in T-Mobile, you go dress like T-Mobile.
That's right.
You're in Amazon, you go dress like Amazon. You're in the military, what do? No, this is how you're going to look. Shave that beard, cut that hair up. Nah, this is how the military looks, right? Same thing with the truth. See, but when it comes to the truth, then it's what? Oh, you're brainwashed. I was brainwashed when I was dealing with the T-Mobile store. Or Apple. They were like, man, nah, I don't mess with Android. It gets real when we get in those talks, right?
Yeah, they're like, we at Apple. We at Apple.
Yeah.
We feel.
Right. It goes hard when you talk about Apple and Android. You're like, yeah, Android, you know what I mean? Apple's garbage. Right? Same thing. But good point. These little influences, man, control our mind so easily like children. So we, and bringing it back to the point, women need to grow the hell up and be more mature and see what's happening. You don't got to go by every emotions. You got to be aware of what's coming into your mind. Go to Ecclesiasticus 37 and 14.
Ecclesiastes 37 and verse 14.
The comments in the chat, what do we got in there? Pull that up. Pull that up so I can get in tune real quick.
Ecclesiastes 37 and 14.
He said unstable creatures.
He said what?
Unstable creatures. Unstable creatures.
Right. Go ahead, read on.
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower.
Go ahead.
And above all, this pray to the Most High.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, we're going to get into this. Hormones, probably. That's one of the comments. Hormones. Sis, but we all got hormones.
That's right.
Right? Everybody got hormones. And yes, I'm going to say this on that note. That's why you got to be careful what you eat, how you put it, what you put in your body, how you take care of yourself, because you're absolutely right. A lot of these things we put in us attack us on a hormone level. You're absolutely right. So that's why with the wisdom, we got to fight that much more. And if you're not aware, you just partake in anything and everything. Like I always tell my ribs, you're not going to be able to function in the truth. This is not about you being the sexiest sister in the camp. But you're not going to function in the truth if you don't take care of your body. That's why you can't wake up late, so late, take care of the kids and do all these things, and then you're eating bad. You're eating the wrong things. You're flooding your system with coffee and cheese, and then think you're going to be energetic. So you're right. Hormones, all these things affect the body, but that doesn't give us an excuse. You know what I mean? I can't punch my rib in her mouth and say, you know what? Testosterone is real.
Right.
It's real out here. You know what I mean? It don't work like that. Right, hormones. So
She also said, I know some men that is way more emotional than women.
amen, sister. I totally agree with you. No doubt in that. But this is a woman's class. We'll jump back to the men. We're always on the men. This is a woman's class. Come on, y'all already know what we think. We know. We believe you. There are some brothers that are as emotional as women. Amen. Right? But that's a whole nother topic. We'll get into our baby boy class after this one. Go ahead and read that. Read that again.
For a man's mind is sometimes warped to tell him more than 7 watches.
Right. So a man's mind, a woman's mind, right? All these things coming at you is going to tell you already different ideas and things, and now you got your mind, plus you got all these other influences attacking you. This is you tapping into these emotions. But you got to learn how to shut these out. Your job is to learn how to shut and control these, because it's not only you. We all deal with this, right? But women think, oh no, I'm special because my hormones, or because I get a period. No. God gave you power to have power over your period. Just like God gave the man power to have power over his testosterone, right? I'm saying that all wrong, but y'all get it. Testosterone, right?
God.
God gave him power. He can't be like, listen, I'm just, what's up? Raging. I'm war raging. I'm just so buff, I gotta knock niggas out every, no. That's not an excuse. The Lord gave you a mind for you to control these thoughts and what to hear, what to listen, what comes in, what to reject. The Most High is showing us that. So, what is the Bible showing us? That this is a common thing. Spirits in every wind of doctrine, seven thoughts, 7 people in your head. That's common. That's what man has to deal with. Especially when you're on TV, rap music, mama, daddy, Oprah, Will Smith. You're all around the place. If you don't know how to woosah and shut everything out, you won't have control over your brain. So your mind got to be guided in this. It got to be guided with the wisdom. Right? Read that one more time.
For a man's mind is sometimes warped to tell him more than 7 watches.
Go ahead.
That sit above in an high tower.
So you got to see that. You sisters got to be aware that your emotions and that emotional content will always be like 7 demons and spirits constantly getting in your mind. You got to be aware of that. But you got to be mature enough not to be tossed to and fro. You got to be mature enough not to be ruled by these different thoughts and emotions every time. Because if I say that, then I'm out of the Spirit of Christ. If I do that, I'm going to do something that's wrong out of the Spirit of Christ. If I act like that, that is not the character of Christ. That's how we're supposed to be guided. 2 Thessalonians 2:2. I'm going to run through this so I won't have to take us to 10 o'clock.
2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 2.
2 Timothy 4 and 3. Go ahead.
That ye be not soon shaken.
Stop. That you be not soon what?
Shaken.
That's the problem. That you can't let everything shake you. There has to be some stability. Y'all got to get this, man. But why are you shaking? Doubts, fears, right? That's common to man. It ain't just woman. You don't get a woman pass. Oh, she's the weaker vessel. That's not what, that doesn't mean you're the dumbest and the slowest. That means you're just, your body, you're created more tender and delicate. But that don't mean you're more, like you're dumb. Right? Or you gotta act slow now. That just means that you gotta be more aware of how what wolves are out there trying to take advantage of you. And what spirits are trying to rule your mind. Who has power over you? So when the Bible talks about ruling the flesh, is that only to men? No, that's to women too. So I'll say it again. So no, your hormones doesn't supposed to be your God. Just like the man's hormones don't supposed to be his God. Y'all see that? Read that part again.
That ye be not soon shaken in mind.
You don't supposed to be shaken with everything. I'm going to move over here. Oh, what? You was in late, so I got to get emotional. Where were you? So I got to get emotional. Like, what's supposed to be ruling you? The gospel. The word. Right? Well, I'm on my menstrual cycle. Now I can act like an asshole to everybody. No. You still got to be a believer when you're on your menstrual cycle. You can't be. That's why they were put away. Y'all see those 7 days? But why is the Most High got it like this now? Because he was going to build you to that spiritual woman. Come on, man. Y'all see it all the time. These women in power, man, they move. You don't even know they got their menstrual cycle. They doing their thing. It's only when you're taught to be ruled by your emotions and your hormones, and your mama tells you that from your young age. Oh, you got your period. Or baby, she got a period. Let her act stupid. She's a woman. She's a girl. Come on. That's why you got to have more rule over yourself. More rule over your body and your mind. See, that's why a lot of women get taken advantage of. Because you're taught this in the world, and then next you know is every nigga that comes up to you, what the Bible say? It says about a woman receiving every man. No, not that part, but that was a wicked woman. Yeah. I'm talking about a woman receiving every man. That's what it is. The Most High has made a woman, her mind, to accept every type of man. And it just got to be the right one. Y'all see that? But you got to have power over that. Because really, you can't just give in to the wrong men all the time. So your hormones, you got to shut that madness down. The carnal mind, you got to shut that down. You can't be shaken. Go ahead.
Or be troubled.
Right. Everything can't bother you and trouble you. Every emotion can't bother you and make you jump out of the spirit. Right? You always out. I'm going to tell y'all, Shawashina was like, could you go over a class about this? Because she's like, sisters, 1 minute believe, and then the next minute, it's like 1 minute they're hitting scriptures and gospel and the word and flying in Hebrew, and the angels are around you, and right, and the next minute, you're Satan's daughter. But it can't be like that. You got to stay consistent in the spirit. So you can't be always shaken by everything. You can't always let every spirit move you and make you angry, upset, sad. Golly, how do you live that? How do you live that way? Some brothers are like, Con. But how do you live that way, being tossed with every emotion? But now you see why your weight fluctuates. Now you see why the white man want to give you more anxiety pills. You know what I mean? He want to give you more what? Drugs. So why is your weight fluctuating up and down? Because those emotions, that has an effect on your body, right? Your mind, it presses down on you. You don't know how to control things, right? I went and they were talking about my kidneys and all that, my filter of my kidneys and things of that nature. And then I was asking Tahawam, because that's his problem too, with the dialysis. I was like, so what affects your kidneys? And he was telling me some things. Then he said stress. And I'm like, well, and I told him, I'm not stressed. But that affects you. How the hell could stress affect your kidneys or your body? Y'all see that? How? Because all those acids and things in your body, you ever feel your stomach drop? You just feel like your stomach, like you get that scared moment and you be like, where's that coming from? That's all those chemicals in your body. And women beyond that daily, imagine this, your chemicals fluctuating and your emotions fluctuating, you'll be in a sad case. That's why you got to learn and understand what you're dealing with. You keep listening to them, everybody, you're gonna be in an array. You're gonna be confused. You're gonna be old, sad, lonely, hated, and then you eventually what? I hate myself. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares. Y'all know the deal. We in America, man. What's wrong with the black woman nowadays, Hispanic woman, Israelite woman? Depression, sadness, right? Anxiety. They're hurting, man. Because there's no stability. It says, or be troubled. Read.
Melted by spirit.
Because that's what you're dealing with. Those 7 watchmen in a tower are 7 demons constantly trying to lead you in the wrong way. They could be turned into 7 guards guiding you and making sure they got your back. But you got to turn those around. You got to strengthen those spirits. So this is a big theme with women, man. Their emotions and letting emotions rule them. You can't let these spirits do that. You can't be troubled all the time. Read.
Nor by word.
Somebody tell you something wrong, it throws you out of your day. You just messed up my day. Like, because you got corrected? Like, bruh, nah. You're going to have to recalibrate that. Read.
Nor by letter as from us.
Right, because Paul was letting them know, listen, all these things can't throw you off. Read.
As that the day of Christ is at hand.
Because really, in the end of all these things, you better be thinking about what? How I'm acting, how I'm dealing, how I'm being. Yahweh Shai is coming back. And he's going to judge me for all I want to be in a soap opera moment all the time of my life. Jumping from man to man. Kids to kids. That's not going to help you. 2 Timothy 4:3. Go ahead, Asa.
2 Timothy 4:3.
Go ahead.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
And that's the problem. Read it again. What is the problem with a lot of these women controlled by emotions? By every wind and spirit that comes to them. Read it again.
They will not endure sound doctrine.
A lot of women don't endure the sound doctrine. You don't want the medicine to fix you. Read.
But after their own lust,
right,
shall they heap to themselves teachers.
Right. So this is a problem with the young mind. You heaping to yourself the things you want to hear. You don't want to hear your husband. You're going to heap to yourself teachers. Right? In one moment is what? You sitting listening to Jada Pinkett Smith on the round table and you studying her. And you vibing with it too. And that's real. That's real. Wait till this nigga get home. She was real with that. You know what I mean? Wait till you come through that door. All TV. You're watching these different concepts, and you're what? That's your teacher. You're learning from them. But when your husband come home, this nigga can't tell me nothing. That's your problem. You don't want to be rude by nobody, but yet being rude by everybody. Right? Like, that's why I say you're slow. Like, you're not going to do that. Until my ribs stepped the hell up and started controlling their emotions, I didn't give them no props. It took a long time for me to give them props. Why? Because I wasn't going to let you, all these emotions at home, and then give you props in front of people. Nah, you're not going to treat me disrespectful and then I got to go home and then, what, I'm going to lie? No, the reason why I can use my ribs as examples now, because they matured over a long time. They've grown up. They put away the childish things. But they had to put away these mentalities and control the emotions. Sit there and be able to take a check and be corrected. Right? I had to know that mama don't got control no more. Daddy ain't got control no more. They going to mama and daddy and they got more respect than their husband. Like, you think I'll deal with that? Come on, man, you tripping. Shalimaya put her stepdad in order and her mom. They thought we was gonna come out here and she was gonna have me with a rope around my neck or something. They tripping. But she set their ass in order. I had to set her in order. So why should I been set her dad in order way back when we first met? You know what I mean? The only reason why I took Shalimaya this time because we've been away from them. Right? They lived in a whole nother city. But they had to show me, they had to show the Most High, no, this is the one that is leading me. Not my mama, not every win, not TV, not media, not some girlfriend, but my husband. That's what the gospel says. Right? He's going to give me wisdom. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
Having itching ears.
Yeah, and that's the thing that the problem is, sisters. The scriptures say you're supposed to be learning at home. You listen to too much madness instead of going to your husband and seeing what he wants. That's why me and Quatazap have to remind everybody, before you go to any sister, any brother, any counsel, go ask your husband. Right? I don't know. You don't respect your husband, but you gonna respect me? What type of it is that? How you gonna respect what I'm saying, but you don't respect your husband? He's telling you what he wants. He's telling you what he desires. Right? And then we tell you the same thing. Listen, sis, you gotta follow your husband. Is he beating you? Is he burning cigarettes on you? Huh? Is he sending you to the streets to be a stripper, a whore? Well, then you need to listen then. If he ain't doing those things, you need to listen. It's your pride. It's your ego. You better find out a way to get it across to him. That's the proper way. Instead of having itchy ears and heaping up other concepts to guide you, it says let them learn at home. Follow your husband. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth.
And that's the problem. That's why all these spirits are louder and every wind and everything and every emotion. Because you're turning your mind away from the truth. Go ahead.
And shall be turned unto fables.
You see that? And be turned unto fables. Now you listening to then what? Weakness, foolishness, things that are dividing your house instead of saying, wait a minute, I know I got an Israelite man and he's not going to change. He's not going to bend and sell out. The Bible tells him that he don't supposed to love me before God. You won't submit to that. So you're listening to everything else. These are the emotions, man, that kill the women, man. They killed a lot of the women's house, man. They killed our families. Right? Because you want to listen to everything else than the husband, the Most High. Y'all see this, right? If not, let me know. I'll start over. Read out.
But watch thou in all things.
But what?
Watch thou in all things.
Right. So that's it on that. Go from there. Go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. 2 Corinthians 11 and 3 and 4. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 11 and 3.
Uh-huh.
But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety,
Right.
so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Yahweh Shai.
And is that not the problem? That a lot of times our women's minds are being corrupted from the simplicity. They want to always overcomplicate things instead of following the simplicity, which is what? Wives, obey your husbands. They want to overcomplicate it, but why? Why this? Why that? Why that? Why I'm going to do this? I'm going to deal like this. I'm going to let these emotions control me. And all these emotions got you out of the spirit. But the simplicity was what? Go to your husband, ask him. That's why I tell sisters, sis, did you go to your husband? Well, no, he's not going to listen. Did you tell him that? That the way you want it? No, I didn't. But because I already know, I already told him. And it's like, you got to go back. You got to work that out. But why they don't want to? Because you want to move from the simplicity. It's simple. And those are the things that are going to keep you stable, in a stable mind. Because you know as well as I know, and I wish there was more sisters here, but sisters, y'all can talk to us in the chat. You know as well as I know how much emotions and thoughts go through your mind daily. You know what I mean? How many times you want to leave your husband out of a day? Sister laughing. Why? How many times you want to leave your husband out of a day? Come on. I know why y'all laughing.
That's a high number.
That's a high number, right? Go ahead, sisters. Put in the chat. Put in the 7 in the chat.
You got a lot of comments that Sean said.
What?
She said a lot of us never know. A lot of us never knew no other way. That's why change is important.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We get sisters that don't want to change. They don't want to change because the wrong ways they were raised and the mentality they were raised in. So, amen. You said it right.
But Nabash said, we create and formulate problems that are not there.
Right. Yeah, you create a lot more problems that are not. It could be so simple, right?
God.
But they want to struggle. It's always, but what are they struggling against? Really, man, you're struggling against those 7 demons in your brain and every wind of thought that came into your mind.
Right.
Instead of just simplifying things and saying, nah, let me just be faithful.
Right.
Let me not be shaken. I'm emotional now. Let me calm and relax. I'm not going to be shaken. I'm not going to be soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither in spirit or in word. I'm going to go ahead and relax, calm down. Baby, whatever way you want, me Lord. What?
Because it be like that because when you ask for the simplest thing, can you go make me a sandwich or grab me some water, some tea, and then they come
They go through a spiritual warfare, right?
You upstairs, you hearing downstairs, you hearing all that noise and stuff. Like, goddamn, they fighting. So you walk down and you like, what's up?
And
nothing.
nothing. Everything's okay. Was it Venom? Venom?
Yeah, Venom with the symbiote.
But that's how it be because you're letting all these emotions instead of the simplicity in Christ. So now Satan's took the advantage. He takes the advantage of your mind. And now, how do you know he got the advantage? Because is your emotions yielding such a great thing that is keeping your house at peace? Wow. Or does it bring war? Does it bring more war and battling? That's how you know it's help and not help. Because it always yields the same thing. So I'll ask it again. How many times out of the day you want to leave your husband? Go ahead, read on. We'll finish this and y'all gonna put it in the chat. Come on.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Yahushua, whom we have not preached.
Right. Go ahead.
Or if ye receive another spirit.
Right.
Which ye have not received.
Right. And that's the thing. You're constantly receiving other spirits. This is what Israel don't get. The women is constantly accepting every spirit and not saying, wait a minute, these thoughts ain't right. Damn it. I'm sick and tired of letting my emotions rule me. This is not the spirit of the Most High. I rebuke you, Satan. Resist the devil and he shall flee from you, right? But that's not happening. A lot of times we know why. They don't study, right? They don't read. They don't get in the book. You say you believe, but you really ain't in the gospel as much as you need, right? And that be the problem. You got to get in the book. You got to study. My rib said it to me in the hallway the other day when I'm talking about this. She's like, man, when I realized the more studying and meditating on the gospel, it brought more peace. Go ahead, finish that. Verse 4.
Or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Right. Go from there. Jump from that. Go to Isaiah 26:3. Now we're going to talk over that first point. That first point was about receiving every spirit. Now we're going to give a solution. How to help? Right? Because it started going into that at the end of that point. Isaiah 26:3.
Isaiah 26:3.
Go ahead.
Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace.
Right.
Whose mind is stayed on thee. Because he trusted in thee.
There's going to be the peace for the women. Your mind is going to woo-sah and be controlled when you trust in the Most High and you trust in his method. And a lot of people got to know what that means, right? Because it's just not a saying, oh, I trust in the Lord. No, it's literally knowing that the Most High is guiding your steps. And he's not going to let you down, right? But here's the thing. Usually all these emotions come from what? Like a lot of these battles with women come from what theme? I know I'm talking about an entirety of emotions controlling and moving and all that, right? But really, which one is the biggest one that the women is trying to hold on so much to that brings all this confusion? What is it?
I would say grudging.
No, the C word.
No.
What?
Basically their own control.
There you go. They want to hold so much on to this so-called control, right? That they do it by any means necessary and there's no peace. They literally create their own demise by these spirits controlling their mind. They're not aware of Satan's devices, man. You got to be aware of the devil's devices. Anything in the chat yet? Huh?
Control,
Nobody?
letting go of control.
Yeah, letting go of control. Come on. Bruh, the women know this. The women know this. Letting go of control, because that's what it is. They want to run everything. Right? They want to control everything. That's why when you get around the sisters, certain sisters you can't deal with. Because why? They're running things. No, sis, we're going to do it this way. Nah, I can't mess with it. Right? Because you don't want to be controlled in no aspect. Nobody can tell you nothing. And that's the problem. That's why you're not at peace. Because you're letting every other spirit control instead of the spirit of Christ.
One sister said, well, I can't answer how many times a day I wanted to leave your husband, but what I can say is the demons are real.
Word. Those demons are real. And nobody wants to say that number. Because you know damn well, daily, you going through so much, man. See, I'm done with this. I'm not, see, that's what I'm saying. Let me find a way out. Let me talk. And then eventually, when you talk to those spirits, what's going to happen? To the pure, all things are pure, but him that is defiled, nothing is pure. Even his conscience is defiled. And then you'll find what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
It might be in the form of Sancho Man might pop up, the old boyfriend, right? The one that used to break your back all the way through the morning, right? He might try to link up back with you. Yeah, girl, I've been thinking about you. You know what I mean? You're like, what? Where does this nigga come from? Like,
I'm in town up the street from your house.
Right? Right? He come out of nowhere, or it be mama, right, baby? I was just thinking about you. I was dreaming about you. I was dreaming about fish, and you know fish. You know those black women. Are you okay over there? Right? It's always something. Colossians 2:6. Yeah. See, who's that? Dorothy? Dorcas. See, Dorcas, you've been with your husband for a long time. You don't got a lot of these problems. Y'all came up in the age where, and I'm not saying it was perfect, because no relationship is perfect, but you probably came up in the age, man, where you knew how to actually have a little bit more humility and let your man lead. They've been together a long time. The door? Somebody at the door? Go get it out. Right. So you probably haven't been through these things. Read that. Go read that Colossians. Come on.
Colossians 2:6.
Go ahead.
As ye have therefore received the Habashai, the Lord, so walk ye in him.
Right?
Rooted.
What?
Rooted.
See, the women have to be more rooted. You have to have some stability. So I ask this, are you stable or are you still emotional? Are you still letting your emotions rule you? The doubts, the negatives. One week you want to be a Hebrew Israelite, next week you don't. That's not stable, y'all. The Most High said don't be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Don't let those spirits shake you. You got to be rooted. Go ahead.
And built up in him.
Right? And you got to be built up. If you're not going through the process, you're not going to be built up. If you're not accepting the conditions that refine you, you're not going to be built up. If you don't want to conquer no instant, like everything, every battle you lose, you're not going to be built up. You got to go through the obstacle course, and you got to dang win some of them. You know what I mean? You got to be, it can't be like you just at the beginning line and you're, nah, I'm good with that. You're like lazy. No, you got to go through those obstacle courses, and you got to get up and try again. That's what's going to get you rooted. Go ahead.
And established in the faith.
You got to be established. You got to be established in the faith. This is what's going to get your mind from listening to all these spirits. You got to get in the book, man. You got to read. You got to serve Christ for you. You got to get tired of fighting. My ribs will tell you, I was tired of trying to control. They knew either way you had to go. You either go and pick up and leave, or get down and lay down, right? It couldn't be, oh, you know what, I'm going to pull him. You going to pull me what? I've been in this all my life. Pull me for what? Pull me where? Where you go? What does that mean? I don't even understand that. Like, there ain't other life. What life? Bro, you came into my life, and coming in this life, you better fit in, get in where you fit in. And when they realized that there was no control, deterring the gospel, I was trying to follow that, they had to ride along with it. See, the problem is, switch class real quick, the problem is they see doubts in you. and they seen certain doubts in your life. They see 1 minute you was a Crip and in the blood, the 1 minute you believed and you was a Muslim and a 5%er, and they figure what? Oh, this is just another fad. He's got to get off that. That'd be brothers' problems. But I'll say it again. Out of the 16 to 19 years or 18 years, I get it mixed up, but all the years I've been with my ribs, one thing they seen, I never was a transformer. I never one time cried to them and said, I can't do this no more. Nah, consistency. And that's what they need to see. And that's where the lack of respect comes in for you. But there's still the problem. The problem is that the women are not putting the gospel first. Because if you do see your man weak, you're supposed to be building them up and strengthening them in the word. And saying, baby, no, we can do this. Because the word is going to be beneficial for you in the future, you and your kids. Or let them fall back into the old mind. Blunts, 40s, and sleeping around on you on the low when you didn't know. Which one you want? Which one you want? Huh? You go either way it goes, what? You either gonna be with him with the blunt 40s and him sleeping around on you, or you're gonna be with him in the truth and he shows you, listen, I got somebody to introduce you. I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. Which one is it? Right? Either way it goes, he's gonna be a man, and that's what you're getting twisted. That ain't never gonna leave. Whether he's in or out of the truth, that ain't never changed. In his mind, he's gonna, if he wants another wife, he's gonna do it. Now, the point with the truth is he has to do right with the knowledge. In the world, he don't care. He's like, listen, ho, golden. I got, I ain't worried about you. So you should be pushing him towards the gospel and saying, nah, I'd rather him be this Israelite man. That's going to raise my kids right. He's going to be the guy that does come in and doesn't smell like blunts and 40s and one day just lose it on me and backslaps me. You know what I mean? That guy, because that's what I hear being taught. That's what the gospel says. So if he's pushing for that, that's what I want then. But sisters, you be creating your own demise. You want the power and control so much, you're destroying the thing that is going to give you all the things you really want. Peace, unity, your husband to love you, your husband to be there for the kids, the family, the house. Y'all see that? That's the problem, man. Read on.
As ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
This is what's supposed to be establishing you and abounding in that. You're supposed to be thanksgiving for the Most High. Not that the truth is hurting your relationship, because he wants to put you in order and run his house in order. So which one do you want? Which one do you want, sisters? You want the man that's going to try to put and direct things in order? Or do you want the guy that is going to ignore you, not listen, do whatever the hell he want to do anyway, and eventually say, you know what, I'm done with you. I got something much younger and more fly, and she want to have fun. So which one do you want? Raise your hand if you're sure. I know which one you want. I know which one you want. Guess which one they want? Neither. I ain't messing with none of it, right? But you're gonna go get you another man in the world, and he's gonna you got another what? The same problem, right? Or you got another woman in the world. You want to turn lesbian? Guess what? Listen, she's gonna be the same problem. That's how it works, man. Come on, go to Psalms 94 and 17. Psalms 94 verse 17. Lashana, I'm stable 90% of the time. I'm working on the other 10. Con, sis. Con. That's what I'm talking about. Read that. Psalms 94:17.
Psalms 94:17.
Uh-huh.
Unless the Lord had been my help,
Go ahead.
my soul had almost dwelt in silence.
And this is what you have to see. The Lord has to be your help. Women, it's not going to be your emotions that rule. It's going to be the Lord that helps you. Go ahead.
When I said, my foot slipping,
Go ahead.
the mercy, O Lord, held me up.
Read.
In the multitude of my thoughts, within me, thy comforts delight my soul.
Yeah, and that's what's going to keep you stable. Nothing else. Those are the things that you have to delight yourself in. The gospel, the word. That, if you understand that this is the stability, all the things you want in your house, we're pushing for it in the spirit of Hamashiach. We're with you. We're with you. Because we know what works. Right? The pimp player dudes, the thugs, the drug dealers, that ain't working for our people. We teaching what you want. Order, discipline, love, unity, compassion, being good fathers, being good leaders, being good examples. So you got to give that a chance. Right? Right, Aku? Go from there. Go to Colossians 1:23. Colossians 1:23. So if y'all just jumped on, we're going over scriptures to show, first of all, we show that why a lot of women are unstable, accepting every idea and thought into their mind and letting emotions rule them. Now we're touching on scripture to show them the opposite, that your stability is going to come through the gospel, shutting those things down in your mind and putting your trust in the Most High. So read that.
Colossians 1:23.
Go ahead.
If ye continue in the faith,
Go ahead.
grounded,
Right?
and settled,
Read.
and be not moved.
See? That's the opposite of being tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. You can't be moved. And I know you brothers are picking this up too, because you know this is a two-way street. You can't be moved. And this is what's going to keep you at peace. Stop accepting everything that's on TV or media or emotion or everything that Satan whispers in your ear, then you tap into as a woman. Stop doing that. Get settled. Get some stability. Go ahead.
And be not moved away from the hope of the gospel.
You see that? Because a lot of times, where's the war come in? You're moved from the hope. You don't believe. You go through a little trials and tribulation with your husband because he's trying. Especially you new brothers and sisters. Like your man is trying, but you just ready to abandon ship at every moment. That's why I said, how many times do you go into that mentality daily? Because instead of you saying, damn, let me back him, you ready to abandon ship. It doesn't work like that, man. You're going to be unstable. He's going to be unstable. He's unstable. You're unstable. You both have to be stable and trust and be patient through the process. Nobody changes overnight. You got to give brothers a chance, man. Just like the man is giving the women the chance. You got to give your husband a chance. Go ahead.
Which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven.
Right. This is what the Most High is showing us. If ye continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard. Go to Psalms 1 and 3. 2 Peter 3 verse 17. Psalms 1 and 3. 2 Peter 3 verse 17. 1 John 4 and 1. I'll repeat them again. Psalms 1 and 3.
Psalms 1 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
And that's what we need the sisters to realize, that they have to strive to become. You want to stop being tossed around with every wind of doctrine and every idea and every emotion and every feeling? Then you got to plant yourself, root yourself deep within the gospel. Are you sick and tired of going in the room and crying? Crying for no reason? I just can't do this no more. He's a dirty nigga. Well then, what do you got to do? You got to be rooted in the gospel. Right? What the Most High say? A wicked woman is given to a wicked man. Well, a wicked man is given to a wicked woman. Huh? So if you believe you're good, you're right, you're whole, well then your husband will be whole. You have to be rooted. You're going to get you a wicked dude if you're wicked. That's right. I've never heard it that way. Huh? Like, it always got to be applied to the men. No, it applies to the women too. Right? Go ahead.
That bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
So you got to root yourself. So what do the sisters got to start doing? You got to start believing. So to answer the question that's been put out there, you know, why is it sisters that, you know, 1 minute believe and the next minute don't? Because they ain't got no stability, man. They're not stable. They don't believe in nothing. Right? But then they want a stable household. It ain't going to happen, man. All the fruit, everything that comes from that tree is going to be destroyed. See? You see what I'm doing? Making their ass accountable. They don't want to be accountable. Everything's on the man. It's all your fault. You're the problem. You're unstable as hell, but he's the problem. Women don't want to take no damn accountability. I'm a woman, I'm weak. I'm a woman, I got emotions. No, you're supposed to be accountable to the gospel also. Y'all get this? Go for, what's the next scripture? 2 Peter 3 verse 17 and 18. Go ahead.
2 Peter 3 and 17.
Go ahead.
Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked.
You see that? You got to beware. Now you got to start watching, putting up your guard and understanding, man, I don't want to be this emotional no more. I'm losing hair. I can't keep my weight. I can't keep my health. I'm crying all the time. I'm angry all the time. My period is, I supposed to have got it this day. I got it twice in the month because my emotions. Now I got this smell coming from me because my anger was inside me, right? It's all buried inside me. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm just so tired. Yeah, but they got to start with you.
Bring it out.
They got to start with you.
Brother said, he said, bring it out.
Yeah, I mean, they got to start with you. It's serious. Accountability. And then you'll start seeing that the Most High work through you. See? And then we can get the husbands. The husbands are moving on their level. Then the kids, then the body. But if you don't want to be accountable for what you're doing, and all day you're doing this. See, it's like, damn, all you've been doing is pointing the finger. But every time I try to be like, see, you like, see, but no, see. Like, it's like, oh, really? That ain't going to work like that. You got to be accountable for what you're doing. Go ahead. Read on.
Fall from your own steadfastness, but grow in grace.
But what? Wait, no. Beware lest yeah, read that from the top. Check that out.
Beware lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness.
You see that? The error of the wicked will break your stride. It'll break your momentum. What I keep telling you about that. Just about myself. I don't let nobody break my stride. You can't. This is for your soul. So you sisters gotta build, first of all, you gotta build a momentum. How hard are you for the Most High? How hard are you for the truth? You gotta build that momentum and say, no, I'm standing on this. I'm standing on this by my own. Whether he's here or not. And that means that you got to follow the gospel. You got to follow the scriptures. You got to be accountable for what you need to be doing. Because that steadfastness, is important for the Most High. He wants to see that. Go ahead.
But grow in grace.
But what?
But grow in grace.
The scriptures say grow in grace. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be, man, you know what? I'm so worried about him, but let me grow being graceful in the spirit. I need to grow in grace. 30, hold on a second. Katz is trying to shoot me some scriptures over here. 37 and 16. Finish that. Go ahead.
And in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior.
Right. I like that. Go to Ecclesiastes 37 and 16.
Ecclesiastes 37 verse 16.
Go ahead.
Let reason go before every enterprise.
Yeah. Am I thinking before I make decisions? Or am I letting... I like that because it brings me right back to the beginning. Am I thinking before I make a decision? Am I letting reason guide me? Wisdom guide me? Or is it always emotion? Now, remember, reason ain't some whack-ass mentality that you learn from the world. That's your reasoning. We're talking about the gospel's reasoning. Let the gospel guide me. The wisdom guide me. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And counsel before every action.
Because I did what? I counsel with my husband. Baby, is this right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but am I in the right mind? I got a question. How many of your ribs are doing that? How many of your ribs are doing that? Baby, you know what? My mind is varying. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they spit to you what's on their thoughts. But that's the problem. That's not happening. It's rare. You got your hand raised?
No.
Okay. It's rare. It's rare. And it's because those things, the right reasoning and emotions ain't being added to your everyday life. So I like that one right there. That's a good one, Gamar. Go from there. Go back. Did you finish Peter's? But growing grace. Go ahead.
And in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua.
Right.
To him be glory, both now and forever. Amen.
1 John 4 and 1. 1 John 4 and 1. I gotta get through this. I gotta finish this class. It won't be right if I let off the next point. We attack these topics usually 3 points. I gotta get the next point. Go ahead, read that.
1 John chapter 4.
14. 4 and 1.
Verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit.
What do the ribs got to understand?
Believe not every spirit.
What do the wives have to not what do they have to understand?
Believe not every spirit.
You gotta stop believing every dang thing you hear in your head. Everything. You want every demon thought, negative thought. Let your husband go to him, talk to him. Go counsel. Baby, am I right? Because my mind is destroying me right now. Read.
Believe not every spirit. But try the spirit.
Right.
Whether they are of the Most High.
You got to try these spirits, man, and understand. If you let the wrong spirit in, you will be overcome by the devil. And how do we know it happens often? Because look at you. You're yelling, you're screaming, you're emotional, you want to leave me now, you want to separate, you're done with this, a little trial, a little tribulation, a little misunderstanding. What happens? You damn lose it. You lose it. You went through my phone when you shouldn't, supposed to. That's the rule in my house. I leave mine. I leave a note with the thumbprint right there. With the key pass. They know. You go on my phone, you might see anything. You know what I mean? You might see me working on number 3 for the last 5 years, and I'm going to let them know in a few more months. It's not like that, but I ain't hiding nothing. I'm definitely not hiding nothing. They got to know. They going to know sooner or later. You know what I mean? That I got a whole nother family with all the same name kids on the other side. They gonna know sooner or later. I got a Shemaiwan in another country, a Shariah and all that. No, but serious, there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. You're a grown-ass man. There's nothing to hide. You looking at my phone, right? You're gonna realize you might see something you don't want to see. So don't look at my phone. Right? If you can't respect that, that's on you. My ribs learned that at a young age. They knew that at a young age. You know what I mean? They tried to do that. But what happened when they did it? They got their feelings broke. And then I came back and showed them, listen, I'm not a boy. So don't try to son me. This is the problem. You let every thought and every negative mind state try to control you. We got to go back to the gospel. We got to go back to the scriptures. So the last point. The wicked are the only ones confused. That wicked mind will bring you into mental turmoil and destruction. You got to know that. Proverbs 4:19. Proverbs 4:19. I got to get this out, because if I leave without getting this point out,
Proverbs.
What message are we going to leave them with? Don't mess with this. Don't mess with this mentality, this mind state, this listening to every spirit and demon. Bro, you got to be established. You got to make a stance. You got to fight those emotions with the gospel and cast out these thoughts. Go ahead, Proverbs 4:19.
Proverbs 4:19.
Go ahead.
The way of the wicked is as darkness.
Go ahead.
They know not at what they stumble.
See, when you got that wicked mind on you, you don't know why everything is happening. You don't know why you're falling. That's why you can be doing all the things you're doing and still don't have an answer. You see that? You ever see it? You know how many times we see this? You're doing all this chaos and you still don't have an answer. Your method is not working at all, but you're in darkness still and you keep doing the things that are hurting your environment. That's what be sisters' problems. They're so right doing everything wrong and it's not fixing nothing, but they're still going to do everything the way they want to do it. What logic is that? That's a wicked person, a wicked mind. Go ahead.
My son.
No, read it again.
The way of the wicked is as darkness.
Go ahead.
They know not at what they stumble.
That's the outcome of that mentality. Proverbs 12:5.
Proverbs 12:5.
Go ahead.
The thoughts of the righteous are right.
Right?
But the counsels of the wicked are deceit.
So what happens? You let these spirits tell you everything. It'd be deceiving. You have to try the spirit by the spirit. Am I in the right mind? Am I thinking correct? I want to hear y'all say it. Sisters, y'all gonna say it with me. Help them out, young sisters. I want y'all to say it loud. Ready? On 3. I want to hear, am I thinking correct? 1, 2, 3. Am I thinking correct? No, I can't hear y'all. Come on, let's say it. 1, 2, 3. Am I thinking correct? I can't hear y'all. Now y'all want to be humble now. Am I thinking correct? I don't speak that loud in my house. That's too loud for me, brother. In my house, we speak humbly.
That's carried against the spirit.
That's what you should be saying. We don't got a lot of sisters in here. We got a few sisters sick. But they'll be back. I'm going to say it again. That's what you should be saying. Baby, am I thinking correct? Because I got this thought eating at me. It's negativity. Right? Read that 12 and 5 again.
The thoughts of the righteous are right.
Go ahead.
But the counsels of the wicked are deceit.
Yeah. So, how do you know? How you feel? What is the outcome? Is it yielding forth goodness by letting your emotions and spirits control you and thoughts control you? Or is it creating more contention and negative in your house? Proverbs 15 and 26.
Proverbs 15 and 26.
Go ahead.
The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord.
See? So those negative thoughts, that negative mind is an abomination to the Creator. When was there at any time you can let Satan take over your mind and it was going to be accepted by God? Well, how come the sisters, women think they can get away with it? I mean, answer that. When at any time letting Satan take over your thoughts, the Lord was okay with it. The Most High said, your thoughts is an abomination. You got abominable thoughts. Go ahead.
But the words of the pure are pleasant words.
Okay, let's go through this last one. Go to Job 18 and 5. Because I really want you to understand what happens when you let Satan take over your mind. It's not productive. It's not a help. It's not going to be a strength. It's not a furtherance. So you got to take control. Read this.
Job 18 and 5.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The light of the wicked shall be put out.
Go ahead.
And the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Go ahead.
The light shall be dark in his tabernacle.
When Satan controls your thoughts in your mind, your light is darkened. That's why the Most High said, let your eye be single. Meaning focus on the gospel. Focus on him. He said, if not, he said, if your eye is darkened, then your whole spirit, your whole body's going to be darkened. And that's what we're realizing, that why you sisters got so much negativity in you. Because you entertain that daily. Right? I could have pulled the scripture we always pull. Y'all know it. To the pure, all things are pure. But him that is defiled, nothing is pure. When you got a sister that is defiled, it's like everything is a suspicion. You're always doing something that you don't need to be doing. Like she's your damn mama. Right? And I heard brothers say that the other day too. But that's the problem. That you're looking at everything so negative, you're trying to control every movement. It's a wicked mind state. Come on.
And his candle shall be put out with him.
Right. That woman's candle, her light, her little shine becomes darkened. That's why it says, the wickedness of a woman darkeneth her countenance. It darkens. I don't got time to go over all these. But the Most High said, the wickedness of a woman darkeneth her countenance. So your candle starts to be put out. That's what happens. You get more. If you chocolate, you're going to get real chocolate. Why? Because that negativity around you. Right? If you light skin, guess what? You're going to be chocolate. Right? Why? Because that negativity around you. Your mind, your look, your demeanor. You just angry. And what does that do to the man? We ain't looking at you like, man, I want to come home to that. I want to come home to sunshine. Why is he not there? Why is he taking extra curriculum activities? Like he's never home. Well, let's take a guess why, sis. Let's take a good guess. Because you're a damn maniac, right? Because you are delusional. You're insane. You're controller. You're emotional. You don't got nothing guiding or controlling you. And he's supposed to want to come home to that? No. You got to gain some damn control. And that's what we supposed to be teaching the women. How to gain stability, control, honor about themselves. You see? Go ahead.
The steps of his strength shall be straightened.
Right. You see what happens when a wicked mind overpowers you and your mind becomes darkened? You're walking and imagine you walking and your legs just straighten. You're going to fall right on your face. And that's what it's telling you about this wicked person. And that's when you see it, man. You see sisters be trying to control so much, it backfires. It backfires. So you try to do other evil stuff, right? I couldn't control him when I was with him, but now I got the kids, so I'm going to try to control him that way. Oh, the Lord got something for y'all ass. Woo! All you ones that's doing that, trying to use your kids against your husband and trying to throw Esau at them, oh, have fun. Have fun with that. Because when the Lord comes, remember what you did and you have done. Just because you couldn't control him. The Most High said you're going to stumble. You're going to fall on your face. Read.
And his own counsel shall cast him down.
Yeah, all that negative counsel and advice and ideas. This is what happens when you let that negativity and emotions and the wrong mind control you. Your own counsel, you will fall on your face. It doesn't work for you. And that's what we're going to see with all the wicked. That mind doesn't work for them. Their logic doesn't work. Their advice don't work. Go ahead.
For he is cast into a net by his own feet.
What is that saying? You're making a trap for yourself. And that's what letting Satan and a negative mind does. You're going to fall in your own trap. You're 25, 26, young now. You're 30 now, young. But what happens? You better look at your future. You can get this Israelite man that wants to get it right and wants to be a good husband. Or you can go ahead and dump him off and go back to Joe Smo. Right? And where's Joe Smo's mind at? Huh? What does the world believe? Do they honor marriage? Hell no. So you got to see your mind is going to... That wicked counsel will have you fall. Go ahead.
And he walketh upon a snare.
He walketh upon a what?
A snare.
Go ahead.
The jinn shall take him by the heel.
Right, the jinn.
The jinn.
Yeah. You know what the jinns were? The jinns were the genies. You know what it's saying? You're going to fall into the trap of the lies of the tricksters. And that's what's going to take you by the heel. Why? Because you didn't want to listen. Right? I like the title they had the other day. It says, leaving the guide of thy youth. That goes back to the women. You left the guide of your youth. You left the wisdom and knowledge. And guess what? You fell into the trap. And what is the trap? Girl, you independent. Girl, you can do it yourself. Girl, you don't need nobody. Right? That's the trap. Go ahead.
And the robber shall prevail against him.
And the robber shall prevail against him. Meaning, you gonna fall into all those hurt and pains and things that you were trying to run away from. All the people trying to take advantage of you, you were feeling your husband was trying to take advantage of you, you're going to really fall into that. You're going to really fall into a man trying to take advantage of you. Because that mind state, you're going to make the wrong decisions. So this is where a wicked mind gets you, man. So those emotions in the long run are not going to help you. Y'all can finish that. We don't have to finish that. Y'all get the point. Does anybody have any questions on that? One more time? All right, I just want to make sure. Nobody got any questions, sisters? Young sisters? Live? Okay. All right, we'll wait a few seconds to see if anybody got anything online. Listen, I'm going to say this while we're waiting. We got classes going on in Rochester. Y'all know anybody in the area? Give them the information. All right? We're looking for a building. We're looking for a school to be able to teach out there. We're starting out flyers this Sunday. We're going to be starting out street speaking on the 1st. So we got a lot of things going on in the spirit. So let people know. You know what I mean? If they're in that area. All right. I gave everybody business cards. Also for the trucking thing we got going on. In case y'all know somebody in the world, somebody that might want to get on. You know what I mean? We want to promote that too. So, does anybody got anything online? Nothing? Okay. What did he put? James, was it question or is it, what is it? James 3 what?
14 to 16.
Yeah, go ahead and get that. Real quick. Let's see what Gamar. Go ahead, read that.
James chapter 3, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts,
Yeah. Go ahead.
glory not, and lie not against the truth.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that one too. Because this is one of the ones we have all the time, and when we counsel a lot, we pull this one. Because a lot of times it be negative and envying and bitterness. That motive is like engrafted in y'all relationships. And a lot of women got to let it go. You got to give your husband a chance. Tonight's woman class, tomorrow, next week we'll go switch back to men. But tonight, you got to let it go. You women got to let all that bitter, envying, the anger, the grudging. You're trying to hold your man to all his mistakes. You got to let it go. That negative mind would only yield more negativity. So if there be bitter envy and strife, go ahead.
In your hearts,
Go ahead.
glory not,
Right. Go ahead.
and lie not against the truth.
And that's the fact of it. So that was another good one. Lie not against the truth. Because the Most High ain't dealing with that. So if you think you're like full of these emotions, you got to realize that that's Satan. It's not the Most High. So good one. That's a good one to end it on. If that's it, let's salute them. Everybody say shalom. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning in Houston, live. Right? Other than that, everybody else, I imagine we'll put your done. Rise and face the east. Yeah, he wants me to see one more time.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah.